In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up an orthographic drawing. We're starting off in Inventor, and the first thing we have to do is open up our blank A3 template. So I'm going to go up to File and Open, and you will browse to and find the template that I've shared with you. Open that up, and what we're looking at here is a blank sheet of A3 paper. It's just like when we're working with part files in Inventor, we can use the middle mouse button to slide it around and the middle mouse wheel to zoom. We can also use the home button to center and zoom to our visible extents. Okay, after we've set up our blank A3 orthographic, we now have to fill out the title block. To do that, we go over to the modeling tree, we find the Ambrose title block, we expand it, we double click field text. Now I can type in the values, pressing return between each one. Let's call this one demonstration, and the date is October 2025, and the scale, we'll figure that out. I think it's 1:1, the first one we're going to work with, and the units of measurement are millimeters. Now the scale is going to be informed by the model that we bring in, so we'll just actually leave that blank for now and hit OK. Once this has all been filled out, it's important that we now immediately save the document under a new name. So we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Save As, and I'm just going to call this Demonstration. But it's important that you give it a new name and save it. Alright, let's bring in some geometry. We want to bring in, first of all, the elevation view, because it's the most important view. It's what we call the base view. So we're going to use the base tool. Click on Base, and this little yellow folder allows us to browse for and find the model that we're going to lay out a drawing for. I'm going to use widget 1. Find it and we click Open. And it's going to offer us a little preview, and it asks us if this is the front view. Well, in this case I don't want that to be the front view. The front view is going to be, and I'll click there, that's going to be my front view, my elevation, and I can position it where I want on the page. And other things I need to do with the dialog box up here is I need to give that view a name. Let's call it the elevation. Make sure that the little light bulb is illuminated because that makes the label visible, and also take note of the scale here, 1:1. We'll hit OK, and we get an elevation view like that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to project out a plan view and an end elevation view. So let's go to Projected. Let's click on the base view to start with, and then move our mouse up above and off to the side. And let's do an isometric one as well. Let's just place that mouse pointer up there. We go right click and we hit Create. And immediately Inventor creates these 4 views. Now let me show you something as well. These views are now sort of linked together. When I move one, the other ones slide around so that they maintain an alignment with themselves. We can control the display properties of these views. Currently you can see that the orthographic ones are set to display hidden detail, whereas the isometric one is not. To change the display options, we go up to the view itself. You'll see a little red fence becomes available. We double click the red fence and we get access to these 3 little buttons right here. This shows us hidden detail, this removes hidden detail, and this gives us a shaded look. So let's see what that does. No hidden detail plus a shaded look, and we'll click on OK, and there we get the shaded view right there. Okay, let's add some view labels to these views now. Again, that's look for the red fence, double click, and we need to make sure that we change this view identifier. In this case that will be the plan view, and we switch on the light bulb to make it visible. And we come over here and we double click there, and we call this the end elevation, and we put on the light bulb. And finally let's double click this one, and we'll call this one the isometric, and we'll click on the light bulb. So this is a great starting position. We're now at a point where we can start to add center lines and center marks, and further down the line some dimensions too. So next comes center marks and center lines. We go up to the Annotate tab, and along here the one that looks like a cross is going to be our center marks, and these get placed over circles. So I'm going to click that tool and I'm going to look for circles or radiuses like that. There's one right there, and that's it. The center line bisector tool is one where you can click the walls of a cylinder, so for example there and there, and it will give a line up the middle of it. Over here we also have to do that between that line and that line. To switch off a tool that's illuminated, simply press the escape button. Let me give you a couple of extra tips about what to do when you're starting off with an orthographic drawing. The first one is to consider the amount of breathing space or white space that you have around these views. These views shouldn't be close to the paper's edge, nor should they be close to each other. So you want them to have a little bit of breathing space around them, a little bit of white space. Okay, separate them out. You've got the whole piece of paper to play with, just like that. Okay. You may also consider how far or how close the labels are from the content of the views. These labels can be clicked and they can be dragged and positioned anywhere, but you generally want to pull them just a little bit away and make room for some dimensions. The other thing, of course, that we must do is we must turn our attention to the scale in our title block down here. We left that blank initially, but as we were bringing in the geometry, we discovered that the scale of the geometry was 1:1. We can double check that by clicking twice, double clicking on the view frame, and we can see here that the scale is 1:1. That means it's a full size drawing. So we'll just cancel this and we'll go and we'll find our title block again, our field text, double click, and into the scale box we can put 1:1, like that.